I think that the children are freer because they don't have the should interpret portion of the brain or whatever. So they just allow themselves to see what I do or what comes out on the canvas. And adults, when they allow themselves to receive the message, even on the subconscious level, as I was mentioning earlier, is when they get really moved by what I do. I think that as far as artistically, perhaps I have a good taste in colors. I choose the right colors to put together and I mix them nicely. But the actual strokes and the actual content of what I paint is not really something I do consciously. I don't do it myself. And people react to it. They react to the colors and they react to what they see on the canvas. It's kind of similar to a Rorschach test in psychology, where two people can look at it and one sees, a girl on a bicycle and the other one sees a car crash. It depends on what they come with, their baggage, when they bring to the painting is the same thing. So that's interesting to me. That's the part that's fun. To me, if I were just to draw faces or just to draw animals, to me that's not as interesting as what I see the magic behind what happens with my paintings.
In a way, they've remained true to that idea. One of the things that we'll discuss in a minute is whether or not they remain living sculptures, and the answer seems to be very much yes. Since you went to art school and met in London, you've always lived and worked in London. Could you ever conceive of living and working anywhere else, even though you've exhibited all around the world, or is London your place and it's where you want to be?
We don't live in London. We live in East London. We would never move from East London. Jack the Ripper.
Yes, we were so worried, so we asked a friend of ours to write a letter to the head of sculpture, asking whether he would recommend her for a project. And he wrote back, and the friend showed us the letter and said, "Dear Madam, under no circumstances have anything to do with these two people."
Put forward the other students were already outside our school. It was after secondary school that we started to do it.
So what did you learn at art school? Because a lot of the artists here, I think, some of them will teach and some won't. Some will have learned a lot.
I love Florence. Florence is just a beautiful city. It's fun to be here. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of art history here. And although I see that a lot of times people in Florence are kind of closed to the contemporary art per se, they like more classical stuff. Even here, I see the same kind of reactions that I see in New York or in California or in Argentina, for that matter. It happens here too, even with people that are more accustomed to seeing, classical paintings. It's a question really of allowing them to let the message, not to disengage the mind is really the thing. They have to look at the painting and just allow the message or the feeling or the emotion to come to them, rather than to try and interpret and say this should be this way or this should be that way. And that happens with many people, sometimes without them knowing that it happens. Sometimes they just walk by and they get caught by what they see, and then they allow them to sink in. And other times people are just very narrow-minded and very much into their form of looking at things, and that's okay. To me, that's perfect also. I mean, the paintings that affect people, it's perfect that they affect those people because it's a message for those people. When somebody looks at the paintings and they don't get affected by it, that's perfect too. The painting is not for them. So there's a perfection in all of this, which to me is very spiritual. In spirit, everything's perfect. In the physical it's not, but on the spirit it is. And to me, that's what's in my paintings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Biennale is pleased to welcome the Artists for Human Rights Association. And we are very happy to welcome the founder of Artists for Human Rights Association, the actress for Academy nomination actress, Miss Anne Archer.
I'm thrilled to be here at the fabulous Biennale dell'Arte Contemporanea di Firenze. I would like to personally thank the President of the Biennale, as well as members of the Biennale International Jury and members of the Biennale Scientific Committee. And therefore, it is with great pleasure that we celebrate and present to you today, Artists for Human Rights International Humanitarian Award to the President of the Biennale, Pasquale Celosa.
If you raise your hand, and if you have two people that you know, raise your two hands. I just want to have a show of hands. That is too many hands, don't you think? Yeah? I think even one hand is one too many. That's why the program Passion for Life is important. Because we, as people, as artists, we are suffering to see our friends, family members die of cancer.